Bluesboyjag here with yet another 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. It's Tyrone Davis and Turning Point. 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. We're tuned to open G. This is an A string tuned to G and a D string tuned normal to D and a 3rd string tuned normal to G. 5th string from a regular 6-string guitar, 4th string, and 3rd string. That's a super common open G tuning, which has become sort of the default tuning for a cigar box guitar 3-string configuration. So this particular song is pretty easy. It only has 3 chords and it fluctuates between 2 different riffs. So let's get right to it. We're going to start out using your 3rd finger, barring all the way across on the 5th fret. That's going to be a G, A, B, C chord. Well, not a G, A, B, C, actually just the C chord. G, A, B, C. But I'm using my 3rd finger because we're going to jump over to the next chord with the 1st finger and pinky. So it's probably going to be easier to use your 3rd finger to bar all the way across. And no, I'm not flipping you off. I'm only using 1 finger to bar all the way across here. My 1st finger looks like it's being used, but it's not. It's just kind of hanging out there. Now, I came up with a little rhythm here on this particular song. Instead of just doing a straight strum, that'd be pretty boring. You want it to be kind of funky. So I came up with a little bit of a finger picking deal here. I kind of cheated just a little bit because I threw an extra sort of G chord in the first top 2 strings. So here's what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm doing is barring all the way across. I'm using my thumb and my 1st and 2nd fingers. That's pretty much all I ever use on a cigar box guitar. My pinky is anchored on the guitar like this. So here's the riff. So the first chord here is barring, as I said, all the way across on the 5th fret. Thumb on the 3rd finger, 1st finger's on the 2nd, and my 2nd finger's on the 1st string. I'm using my thumb on that boom ba da. When I do the 1st chord, it's all 3 fingers on all 3 strings. Now you can come up with your own pattern however you want to do this rhythm, but what I came up with is that 2nd chord is pinky on 1-5 and my 1st finger is on 2-3. So the 1st chord is G, A, B, C, and that chord right there is a D. You could also bar it all the way up here on the 10th fret. Just 2 chords for the main part of the song. So we can do it that way or we can do it this way. And that's the top 2 strings only. Again, 1st finger is on 2-3, pinky is going to be on 1-5. I'm not playing any other strings except the 1 and 2 strings. That just allows you to play in one position so you don't have to jump all the way up here. So you can do it like that or you could do it like this. So notice I'm using my thumb and then the 1st 2 fingers. That's just the rhythm I came up with. You can do whatever rhythm you want as long as you change the chord at the right time. So you can go. I prefer to use my fingers and do some kind of funky, syncopated finger style stuff. Notice how that second chord comes in on the upbeat. So when I do this, that's the upbeat. The chord on the upbeat. And this is on the downbeat. So it's downbeat, chord on the upbeat. And that might sound a little weird to you at first. Let's just make sure that you follow me when you change chords. So it's like this. And you don't have to use your fingers, so you can strum if you want. I don't like to use a pick, as you may know, on the cigar box guitars. I won't get into all that. But you can use a pick if you want, or you can use your fingers. So here's regular strumming. Notice how I'm coming in on the second chord on the up. When you do that, I'll show you a little trick. Notice how I skip the down after that up. I'll show you real slowly. Notice how I hit that chord, then I come back around to another up. I don't play down on it. So that second chord is on the upbeat. If your foot is tapping like this, that second chord is when your foot's up, not on the floor. That's what the upbeat means. Anyway, most of the song is these two chords. I'm choking with that hand. When I do that click there, I'm just not pressing down. Then when I do the chord again, I'm pressing down again. So I'm pressing, unpressing, pressing, unpressing constantly. And notice how I do a little click there. That means I'm not pressing that one down. So I go click, bow, click, bow, click. That's called syncopation, or basically just getting funky. As I showed you earlier, there's a trillion different strum patterns you can use on this. Just come up with your own strum pattern. As long as you change the chord at the same moment I change the chord, you can do whatever you want in between. You can go. I'm still changing the chords at the same moment, but in between, I'm doing whatever. It doesn't matter. And in fact, I would highly recommend you do whatever. Mix it up. Don't necessarily do the same thing all the way through the whole song. Not that that's a bad thing, but I like to mix it up a little bit. So I might start out pretty much straight, like this. And just keep that strum pattern going. So for the second part, that second part is the chorus. So you're playing that same first chord, and then open G, no fingers at all. And then barring across the second fret, and then that same chord right there, which is a D chord. First finger, again, is on 2-3, pinky is on 1-5. So you end up with. Now we're back to the main riff. Notice I'm putting some clicks in there to make it funk. When I do those clicks, I'm simply lifting my fingers off the fretboard, so I'm not pressing the strings down. the entire song. So I'm doing a strum pattern there, obviously, but you can change it and mellow it out if you want to, just to get something different going on. So what I'm doing here is I'm partially muting out the strings by using the side of the palm of my hand way back here, close to the bridge. So I turned up the volume just a bit, so you can hear all those nuances. So I've got my thumb going back and forth between the third string and the second string, and I've got my second finger on the first string and also my first finger on the second. When I do that open chord, I'm playing all three strings. So my thumb's on the third string, my first finger's on the second, and my second's on the first. Same thing with this chord. Now I'm going to go back to this chord. And it really doesn't matter what fingers you use. Sometimes I'll use my first and my second, and I'll just snap them up. Sometimes I'll use my thumb, do it down on both of them. Doesn't really matter. So the whole song is, this is the intro and the verse. And it does that several times. Then we go to the chorus. One more time. Now we go back to the main riff. I don't know how many times he does that main riff. I would say probably 12 or 16. A lot. Now I'm doing regular strumming. Notice how it's much brighter. That's because I'm using my nail. So that's the whole song, and you can jump right in and play along with that pretty quickly. It's pretty straightforward. So what key is this song in? That key right there. How do I know that? It's a long story. Basically, in a nutshell, what's the last chord you would play? Would it be that one? Well, it could. Nothing wrong with that. Would it be this one? No. Would it be this one? Probably not. It's going to be this one, because that's the key. G, A, B, C. So, if we solo, this is a perfect place to start. So we're in the key of D, first finger's right here on D, and we play this pentatonic. So it's going to be pinky up here, that's going to be, and first finger is going to be on the 5th fret. So first finger on the 5th fret, first string, and then your pinky is going to be up here on the 8th fret. Same thing with the second string, same thing with the third string. So if you play a solo on that riff, be thinking that in your head, right? Boom, do, ba da da boom. Just keep that going in your head. Boom, ba ba boom, ba boom, boom, ba da ba boom. Boom, ba da da boom. Don't forget, you also have 3 and 5 on all 3 strings for your pentatonic. And then you have 5 and 8. So we'll keep it simple for now. Well, I just kind of got unsimple there. But you can play the in-between notes if you're soloing here. So just think the riff in your head. And I'm going to try to hum the riff while I play a solo. I probably won't succeed. One more time. Boom, ba-da-da-boom. didn't do that, so it's kind of hard to play a rhythm and then sing something else on top of it. But just remember, boom, doom, ba-da-da-bum. Boom, doom, ba-da-da-bum. So if you want to do some improv on that, I did just a little bit of a crescendo there. Right there. When I hit this chord, I just kind of bring the volume up a little bit. I'm using my thumb and first finger, one on each string, the second and the first. So you've got some dynamics there. You can bring it up, bring it back down. Dynamics are super easy to add to your song to give it a little bit of variation, and it's real important. So if you play the intro, for instance, you might start out like this. I'm partially muting way back here with the palm of my hand. Now here's without muting, much louder, and here's the muting. So you might want to start out muted and then slowly get louder and then bring it back down again later. Lots of different options there to kind of give it a little bit more of a up and down feel, or a louder, softer feel, or more intensive feel. So there you go, folks. Hope you enjoy that. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my website, jagshouse.com. Cigar Box Guitar is now in my 20th year, over 4,000 sold, and we'll see you next time.